The words of power, the tools of a creator race. Hadrian spoke of them as though they could shape worlds, and perhaps they had. With these in hand, victory would not be far behind, or so it was thought. While Erengend searched for the ancient relics, Morgrim's army pressed their attacks against Neverwinter. Their dark magics and sheer numbers soon overwhelmed the defenders. The betrayer, Erebeth, was at the forefront when the walls were breached. The words of power, once thought safe within Castle Never, were in danger of falling to the enemy. And behind the invasion, an even greater evil, Morag, Queen of the Old Ones, had awoken.
We meet again. As you know, I am Nasha Alagonda, Lord of Neverwinter. I was once an adventurer like you, though that was long ago. Erengend tells me you have done much in the defense of our city. For this I thank you, though I fear it was all in vain. Erebeth knows our defenses too well. We could not stand against her forces. The enemy has breached our walls. All is lost.
Do not give up hope, my lord. We still have the words of power, after all.
And what good has that done, Eren? We have no way to use them. Whatever magic is locked within those stone tablets is of no use to us.
Perhaps Hadrian will reveal their secret to us, if you release her from the dungeons.
I don't trust that creature, Eren, and neither should you. We have done her no harm. If she was truly our ally, she would tell us what she knows.
Hadrian told us about the secret door beneath Castle Never. Without her, we would never have found the Source Stone.
And what good has that done, Eren? That creature won't tell us anything about it. The Source Stone is as useless to us as the words of power.
Perhaps Hadrian will speak to our champion. She has spoken with them before.
Enough, Eren. Now, if you want to speak to Hadrian, you are free to do so. But I will not release her from the dungeon while an enemy is within our city gates. Personally, I think this is all a waste of time. Words of power, the Source Stone, Hadrian. What good is this against Erebeth's army? Our fate is sealed. We are all doomed. After all you have done for the city, the least I can do is answer your questions, although Gend probably knows more than I do. I've given them to Master Ford, Chief Archaeologist of Neverwinter. He seems to think there's some link between the words and the Source Stone. Initially, I hoped he could figure out how to unleash their power. But even as wise as Master Ford is, he hasn't been able to learn anything more about the words of power or the Source Stone. Since we discovered the Source Stone in the secret chambers beneath Castle Never, Master Ford has spent all his time studying it. You can go speak to him to see what he's discovered if you wish, though you might have more luck getting information from that creature Hadrian if you can get her to talk. We captured the lizard woman slinking around the city shortly after Luskan attacked. After Erebeth's betrayal, I'm not too trusting, so we are keeping her locked in a cell in the dungeon. She was hissing and babbling about Morgrim wanting the words of power and the Source Stone, but we couldn't get much else out of her. She's half mad, I fear, and doesn't seem to trust us. Gend seems to think she might trust you, though. You're free to speak with her in the dungeons if you wish. I'm sorry, but I won't do that. Not while there's an enemy inside the city. She might be an ally, but it's just as likely she's a spy. Besides, We aren't doing her any harm, only keeping an eye on her. And if she has information to help us, she should be willing to share it whether we keep her in prison or not. Gend can probably answer your questions better than I, but I'll help you if I can. The reports are grim. In the initial assault, Luskan overwhelmed us with sheer numbers and the unbridled ferocity of their attack. The defenders were forced to fall back to the city core. Erebeth knew our defenses too well. We never stood a chance. My troops are loyal, but against such odds, there's little hope. It's only a matter of time until Castle Never itself falls. It is too late for that, I fear. Our defenses are already broken. The damage has been done. If Erebeth and Mogrim were both slain, there is a chance it might break the spirits of the Luskan invaders. But I wouldn't count on it. The Luskans attacked with a rage and ferocity I have never seen before. Some sinister force drives our enemies forward. Or perhaps this is justice of a sort. Neverwinter may have brought this doom upon itself. The blood of Fenthic is on my hands. After the plague, the mob cried for blood, and I gave it to them. Fenthic was guilty only of trusting Desta. He was no enemy of Neverwinter. And yet I saw him hanged for failing to protect the city, as was his sworn duty. Can we really be so surprised Erebeth betrayed us after we executed her lover? I fear it is too late for that. Fenthic is dead and Erebeth... Perhaps if I were given the chance to pass judgment again, I would act differently, more mercifully. But I fear that chance shall never come. I must live with the burden of what I have done, as must my city. Neverwinter will... Gend can probably answer your questions better than I, but I'll help.
These are indeed dark times, though not so dark as Lord Nasher portrays them. The people of Neverwinter are made of sterner stuff than any of us imagine. But if Neverwinter is to survive, we must all play our part. My place is here by Lord Nasher's side. I must oversee every aspect of the defense of the city. And your own part is one you know all too well. You must save Neverwinter once more. Though how you might accomplish this, I cannot say. Perhaps the creature Hadraline knows something of this. I once knew every secret in this city, but these are turbulent times, and even I am left stumbling in the dark. Yet, I will tell you whatever I can. It pains me to talk of her. There was a time when I considered her a champion of Neverwinter, and I called her friend. Her betrayal struck us all hard, especially Lord Nasher. He will not admit it, but I imagine the situation was made even worse by the guilt he felt over Fenthic's execution. I make no excuses for Erebeth's actions, but seeing the cheering crowds at her lover's execution might very well be what turned her against the city. But now is not the time to discuss whether Erebeth's actions were justified. We must stay focused on finding a way to save the city. You should speak to Hadraline before you go. Maybe she will tell you something about the Source Stone or the Words of Power. My instincts tell me that she is the key if Neverwinter is to be saved. And I have learned to trust my instincts.
I have been waiting for you. These other warm bloods are weak. I do not trust them. They are weak, like the ones you call Erebeth and Mogrim. They cannot stand against the Creators, now that Morag stirs within the Source Stone. Mogrim has unlocked the magic of the Words of Power. The Old Ones awake and the world you know shall be no more. Three of the words are here in this castle. But there are 4 words of power in all. Morag has found the final word, strongest of them all. I came here to warn your people against Morag's return, but the Warmbloods do not trust me. They cast me into this dungeon. Do not waste time trying to free me from this prison. It serves no purpose. Instead, you must help me stop Morag's return before the Old Ones awake and I am made a word slave once more. The 4th word is close. I can feel its power. Morag and Arabeth brought it here to this city you call Neverwinter. Bring the word to me. I am Hydraline, leader of the word slaves. With the final word, I can break Morag's power and trap her forever inside the Source Stone. You're kinda ever curious. A curse of your warm blood, perhaps. Our time grows short, but I will answer your questions. Long ago, when even the elves were young, the world was hot and jungle covered this frozen waste. This was the time of my people, the creator race, the Old Ones. The Old Ones enslaved the lesser races, and all bowed to us, and the terrible power of Morag, our queen. But then the long winter came. To survive, Morag placed her people into a deep hibernation within the Source Stone, to await the day they might rise and reclaim what was once theirs. You must hurry. With each passing hour, Morag's power grows. Soon, I will not be strong enough to stop my queen from awakening her people.
Your face is a frightful mess. Those Luskanites really did a number on... Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were one of the wounded.
Suleno Samatka! Otano! feel my wrath!